What's up? Let me make sure everybody's good to go here. That's weird. In theory, we're in business. Oh, shit. It didn't go through Patreon. I'm going to have to cut this off. Hold on a second. Wait a minute. I might be able to get it. There we go. I think. This is so fucked up. Everything's jacked. I think it's good now. Yeah, I think it's on Patreon now. Oh. All right, we're good. Fuck it. I don't give a shit. Brian writes, everything's fucked up. Why should your show be any different? This is true, my friend. I don't know. I got a bunch of people here. Did I make this private or is this one public? There's way too many people for it to be private. I don't know. Well, maybe you get a free one then. I don't know. Sorry about that if that's the case, Patreon folks. Yeah, exactly. Everything is screwed up. Why should I be any different? I'm not special. Okay. Boy, man, I'm a mess. Here we go.
And now, here's a guy who has never won a congeniality award at any radio station anywhere.
I will fight you in the streets.
It's the Eric Zane Show podcast with your host, Eric Zane.
Thank you, Johnny. Welcome in, man. This is a daily podcast covering news, nonsense, and my personal adventures. The Eric Zane Show podcast.
Get drunk before everything closes.
Oh, God, I hate her. I hate her so much.
Get drunk before everything closes. Get drunk before everything closes.
That's a person. That's a real live person. Okay, man. If you're enjoying this on YouTube, and I might have made it free. I don't know if that's the case. Subscribe to that shit. Hit the bell. Hit the bell. Hit the bell. Get the notifications. Okay, we got a lot to talk about here on the Patreon bonus. Why in the hell am I so late? Well, I don't know. I got a little bit sidetracked. Had to make breakfast for the temptress. Actual food. She didn't need sex. Thank God. We got kids here in the house. Weird. So we ate, and then I researched a couple stories, got sidetracked, started to load some drops in.
Get drunk before everything closes.
This really sucks.
This virus ain't that serious.
I love that guy.
This virus ain't that serious.
Oh, okay. Out of all the kids singing, I think that one I can handle because the little kid was just trying so hard. The girl, it was jammy time. She was wearing like Christmas pajamas. I was singing I Hate You as I interacted with Kenny earlier. Oh, you thought you were going to get away with that. Even you thought that was it. That was all I was going to say about it. Was on the free podcast. Hey, Zane. Zane, look, man, I got a question for Dear Meathead. Yeah, I know. I just got back from taking my daughter over to, we went on. Yeah, man. We were listening to the podcast. Yeah. No, she's 7. Yeah, so that's perfect age to hear you say words like fuck. Yeah, hang on. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, man. I was letting her listen to podcasts. We were planning our trip to Italy next week. Yeah, a lot of debt there. She's gonna want to see that. So then, yeah, man. So anyway, I had a question. Yeah, that question is, Zane, how often does your dad and Joanne have sex? Nope. Yeah, it's saying, man. I want my daughter to know how much your dad has sex. So, yeah, man. Planning this trip to Italy, and I want her to know how much your dad has sex. She wants to know, man. I gotta tell her. What the fuck is wrong with you, Kenny? You're saying, man. Look, I like my daughter to listen to the show, and I really want to know how often your dad has sex. Could you ask him? And then I'll play the answer back to my daughter. Nate writes, new nickname for Kenny, Speedbag Kenny, because he beats the shit out of you. Yeah, here I am. I'm sitting there on Dear Meathead. I'm like, hey, go ahead, Al, write me a question. Keep it simple. Dad just loves talking to you. Hey, Zane, man, why don't you ask your father, who's struggling with dementia, how often he has sex? What the fuck is wrong with you? Hey, man. Hey, Zane, man, why you always make fun of me? It's not like I do anything that warrants me to be insulted nonstop for the first 10 minutes of your podcast. Man. Holy shit. That whole business about the story of the young people on the beach, that really struck a lot. That struck a nerve. That's the thing that everybody's talking about today, is all those stupid people on the beach. I blame the state, frankly. Young people are going to do stupid young people things all the time. That's why they're young people. That state should have 1 week ago closed the beaches, at least by the weekend. Close them down. Everybody go home or stay indoors of your stupid bed and breakfast, or what is it, Airbnb that you're in. Just horse shit. Can't believe it, man.
Get drunk before everything closes.
Oh, God, how'd you like to be her mom and dad?
Get drunk before everything closes.
Closes. Wow. And then there's, apparently they were wrong. You can get it if you're 20 to 40 years old. Like, there's been plenty of cases where people that young have been getting it. So all that misinformation is what attributed to them going to there in the first place. All these morons think that they're invincible. Yeah, man, you said invisible, you dumb shit. I got one on you now. Yeah, now tell me how much your dad has sex. So they think they're invincible. They're not. All right, radio has reared its ugly head again. There's a historic radio station in Los Angeles, K-Rock, K-R-O-Q, K-Rock. And the guy on the air there, his name is Kevin Ryder. He's been on for, he's been part of the radio station since like 1992. And he had a co-host who retired about a year ago and got out of the business. These are older dudes, rock station. This is what you call a heritage morning show. So this guy's been doing his thing. And we used to be an Infinity station, now known as Entercom, CBS Entercom. They went ahead yesterday. Now, probably not a lot of people care about this story because I don't have hardly anybody that listens in California, I'm guessing, or the Los Angeles area. But this is another sign of the times for this industry. You have market leaders and industry veterans and people who are listened to by countless people and are just shown the door. Now, the way this one went down, but yesterday, KROQ, actually 2 days ago, called every one of them on the phone and fired them over the phone. He wrote, hey, I guess that one of the things they use as a slug line is, hey, party people. You see that in a lot of these comments. Hey, party people. Not sure how to say this. So here it is yesterday at KROQ, called every one of us on the morning show and told us we were fired. Period. Me, period. Continued. Why did at KROQ fire all of us on the morning show? I assume it's the ratings, which were down, the economy because it's down, but it's a pretty crappy way to treat people. Well, here's the thing, Kevin. I don't like it that you lost your job or anybody lost their job, and a lot of the times it doesn't make sense. But this is the way of the world when it comes to that industry. No one, I tell you, is safe. Now, I'm not equating this to me in my scenario. Mine is very different. In the first one, I was fired for cause. The second one, I was fired over format change. But I'm referring more to the iHeart brand of firings, which I also was a part of that. Yeah, I've been part of all of them. That was we're bleeding money. We need to make a change. Now, I don't know for sure why they did this, but I know for a fact the radio industry as a whole, there's just a unbelievable exodus of audience. Sure, you'll get various shows that get their share of the pie, but the pie that was this big, gigantic, is now this big of a pie. So if your pie is, let's say, 1 million people at one given time in history, and now that pie is 250,000 people, well, sure, you're still going to get a big share of that, but you're getting a share of a lot less pie. And everybody knows you need more pie. So many different things that people are turning their attention to these days. Radio sucks in that regard. And I don't know how to fix it. I don't have the answers. He says, we're humbled by you spending any time with us. Thank you. Going to sleep for about a week. One last thing. There are 3 guys here to throw me out of the building. I couldn't make this up. Not necessary. I'm leaving. Love all of you guys. Now, as far as the timing of it, frankly, in the middle of the pandemic, boy, this is a bad look for Entercom. You, whether you're going to fire him or not, yeah, you can fire him, but I question the timing for your own well-being there at the company, because it's such an awful look to blow someone out at this stage of the game when there's bigger things pressing. And I would guess that you would want a trusted person on in the morning who everybody knows. Boy, that just, and it puts I think what they did was they put a replacement show on who was someone else that worked at like a different time of the day on the radio station. So that guy's thrown into that. You don't want to be the one to follow that up. You look like an asshole. Everybody's going to hate your guts. Horrible timing on that. Who knows whether or not this, I mean, I have no idea. I don't see what ratings are or anything like that in terms of Los Angeles. But this is another example of what is going on in that industry. I mean, think about it. How many of you people actually listen to the radio these days? So few of you do. And when you do, it always seems like a fucking nightmare. You know, these big swaths of commercials. I'm not really used to it anymore. When I listened to the radio yesterday, I was like, God damn it. I just want some consistency. You said consistency. Yeah, man. Yeah, I got one on you, man. Now go ask your dad how often he has sex. So people are saying, hey, fuckers, what did I miss? Oh, we didn't make fun of Kenny at all. Yeah, man. Right. By the way, Kenny's turning it into a pervert now. You're seeing the evolution of his bit, of his persona on the show. And everybody has always exaggerated, going from like, hey, Eric, with Saul, and hey, Eric, I want to try something new. Yeah, Saul, what is it? I'm going to be a NASCAR driver. Kenny's, his character is evolving to a sexually charged deviant. Hey, man. Yeah. Matt says Freeburn Hot Wings played a clip today and had you on the show from the past when Joe made a prank call to that famous golfer. Yeah, that happens from time to time. The boys play those old clips. Those are fun. Always a good time. Yeah, man. So it was Zane. Ask your dad about when he's going to have sex again. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah. And Aaron adds, yeah, and don't forget he's a bad father because he's taking his kid to coronavirus hotspots and plays this show. Dad, hey, Dad. Yeah, baby doll. Can you read me a story? Yeah. Well, yeah, sure, I'll read you a story. Okay, can you do that? Three Little Pigs? I got a better idea, man. Yeah, how about I play you the Zane show? Especially the part when he's talking about me asking his dad if he has sex. When's the last time we had sex? Here, come on, baby. Here, I'll give you the phone. Just listen to this. It'll put you to sleep. Yeah. The icon of the hand over the face. Kenny. Hey, man, cut it out, man. I'm not that creepy. Okay, so getting back to radio, I don't know, man. I would prefer a longer form, steady conversation. Now, I'm so used to doing it that when I do listen to the radio, I'm like, oh, fuck. Nate writes, Kenny's bedtime stories. Hey, Dad, can you read me a story? Yeah, man. He calls his daughter, man. Yeah, man, listen. There once was a man from Nantucket. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. All right. I talked to a friend of mine who worked in radio, and I'll just tell you, I talked to my friends over at iHeart, and I go, hey, man, you need me yet? Is it time to come back to work? Just waiting for this to blow over, man. I really want you back, but it's like, I'm like, I get it. I don't say any more words. Just say when it's time to reach out, I would love to help in any way I can. Yeah, he's like swamped with things to do with this coronavirus thing. But that big firing that happened in January, well, that was a clusterfuck. And now they're short-staffed. I go, well, hire me. I'll tell you what, hire me as a contractor. Give me $500 a week. I'll take care of it. I'll take care of anything you need. All right. Let's talk about what people are doing to pass the time when it comes to having sex. FaceTime sexing is what is being discussed here. This whole article is just, I think I'm just getting old. It's full of things that make me cringe. The article talks about how people who, well, first of all, in this day and age, the ability for people to have multiple relationships and just have sex with random people is quite a thing that I can't really relate to. I have never really. I mean, everything's had a relationship leading up to the big moment in the past. It's never been just go have sex and leave. There's always been a relationship surrounding it. So I can't quite even comprehend the idea of just having F buddies. Okay. It's just something I've never, I got the woman I married. I met her when I was 18, for God's sake. So I'm not exactly a world traveler when it comes to sex with people. But as we know, there's a lot of people in this world, and this article from Men's Health talks about how women and men are now let's say you're a woman and a man, and you do this a lot, and some people have multiple partners. What they do now is they do FaceTime, and then everybody masturbates. Okay, so that's what this article is about, and it has to do with, of course, COVID-19. Ness, I guess, is a lady, a 30-year-old lady, hadn't had video chat sex much since her early 20s when the technology was far glitchier. Now, during the pandemic, according to the article, she says she's FaceTiming with multiple partners almost daily. Yeah, man. You think your dad's doing that? Yeah. Hey, man, you call your dad. Maybe he'll do it. She has 3 different guys she has FaceTime sex with. 2 are dudes she's dating, and 1 is a chastity sex slave. That's right, man. Meaning his kink is not being allowed to orgasm. All right. Usually she would meet with these men in person, but that's currently not an option. It will never replace the closeness of someone's body, but it is helping me relax and sleep better, she says. God dang. Jack, 29 years, his name's Jack, only used to have FaceTime sex once or twice a month, but now is up to a few times a week. Like Ness, Jack is polyamorous and actually has 5 partners. So he has plenty of different folks to virtually have sex with. With what's going on, it fills the sexual gap that otherwise would leave desires unfulfilled, he says. 46-year-old Sharon is used to having sex over FaceTime. Some of my partners are long distance, so I've been dependent upon FaceTime. Here's the thing. If I'm holding that phone up, you can see the other partner. Let's say my wife. I'm looking at my wife. And she's looking at me, and in the little window you can see yourself. I'm going to see like my fat gut and my hairy nipples and my dumb bent wang. The whole thing is just, God, I don't know, man. Seems like a real gruesome time to have. If you ask me, I think I like it, man. FaceTime sex can indicate many things, but at least for the people interviewed, it means mutual masturbation. This doesn't mean that you watch the other person masturbate in silence. You can talk dirty to your partner. That's what I'm talking about. Have them switch positions or change sex toys. Oh, my God. In fact, FaceTime sex is a great way to dabble with a more dominant, submissive sexual dynamic. This is so fucked. This would never, ever happen in my world in a million years. There is no way in hell. I don't even like to think about it. All right. I'll link the article up. There's a lot more to it. Some of you perverts will probably like it and read it, and you probably do this thing. I know I do, man. Yeah, that's what I do. All right, Kenny, I'm sorry. All right, let's talk about a Florida man. This is a story of some guy who likes to impersonate cops. You've seen them in every neighborhood. I've talked about them before. They usually have a car, a police interceptor, Ford Crown Vic, or something like that they got at auction. They suddenly think they're cops. It develops some type of thing in their brain where they drive around and everybody's like, oh, shit, there's a cop. But it's not. Every town's got fake cop guy. A guy in Florida, 60-year-old man named Leroy Stoudemire. Well, he was arrested at one point in the community for doing this, and went to jail, got out of jail. The local newspaper reported about this guy, Leroy Stottlemyre, had a picture of him. Said this guy was just busted for impersonating a cop. He was released after posting bond, and that's it. And so that story made the news. 2 days later, a guy working at a toll booth in Florida. You know how boring that can be, just sitting there doing nothing if there's no cars, and still it's pretty mundane work working at a toll booth. Sitting there looking at his phone, comes across that story. Gets a good look at the guy. Oh, wow, this idiot. Yeah, impersonating a cop. Car's coming up to the toll booth. Going to do the normal thing. Guy's got to pay $2, and then he's going to go through the toll. Person going through the toll flashes a badge and says, "Let me through. I'm a cop." The guy at the toll can't believe what's just happened. And you know where this is going, don't you? What are the odds of the guy operating the toll booth 2 days after this happened, reading the news story, seeing the face of the dumb bastard, looks up, and the dumb bastard is in the car trying to get to the toll, flashing a badge, saying, "I'm a cop." This actually happened in Bunnell, Florida. Leroy Stottlemyre was arrested March 11th after investigators got a tip from a toll bridge attendant who showed them the video, because, those booths are constantly monitored, of the man flashing his badge to avoid paying the toll. The toll booth attendant told investigators that Stottlemyre flashed the badge at him, and then the operator said that he, in turn, showed the article to the guy of the first arrest of impersonating an officer. The toll booth operator, and you can see all this on the tape, he said that Stottlemyre then sheepishly put the badge away, dug out $2, and gave it to the dude. He lets idiot through. He calls the cops. The evidence is there. Cops pull this dumb asshole over twice in 2 days for you said impress. Yeah, go ask your dad how much he has sex. 2 days for impersonating a cop. Stottlemyre was the first charges happened March 9th. Charges of impersonating the officer. This guy clearly has not learned his lesson. Has no respect for the law. 2 days after his release, he's already back to his old tricks. Jail records did not list a lawyer for Stottlemyre. What the fuck is going on with that guy? You got to be kidding me. Folks, all right. I'm out of time. I'm out of energy. I'm out of money. Thank you so much for being part of the Patreon bonus podcast. Subscribe to me on YouTube. Hit that bell. And if you like the Patreon, sign up for that shit, man. Just go to patreon.com/Eric Zane. That's all you need to do to be part of the daily Patreon bonus podcast as we continue to do the show from the fear bunker. All right, you guys are great. I appreciate you. Even you, Kenny. All right, we'll talk to you down the road. Thanks.
Get drunk before everything closes.
This virus ain't that serious.
This really sucks.